Hello, my name is Alan Stankiewicz. I'm a wildlife photographer, videographer, a birder, and a member of CARS, Citizens Acting for Rail Safety. CARS is based out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, and our focus is on the rail safety for the entire upper Mississippi River Basin. There's close to 1,400 miles of shoreline along the Mississippi River between the Twin Cities in Minnesota to Cairo, Illinois in the south. Red Wing, Winona, Guttenberg, Prairie du Chien, Dubuque, Savannah, the Quad Cities, Burlington, St. Louis, and Cape Girardeau are just a few of the many river towns that have seen changes in rail traffic and the cargo they carry over the past few years. This is our home. This is home to hunters, fishermen, boaters, sightseers, hikers, as well as the many businesses that use this river for their livelihoods. Businesses account for $145 billion in revenue and employ approximately 870,000 people. It's also the home to wildlife, with over 40% of all birds migrating through the region. It's home to 127 species of fish. This is home to the river otter, beaver, mink, and muskrat. We love our home, and we want to protect it, and that's why we founded CARS. CARS is devoted to help protect our home from the ever-increasing risk of a major rail disaster. We've made great strides this past year, but we can certainly use your help too. Over the past few years, we have seen an astronomical growth in the amount of crude oil being transported via rail via unsafe tank cars. This has resulted in numerous catastrophic accidents. Lochmaganic, Canada, in which 47 people lost their lives. Aliceville, Alabama, in which over 600,000 gallons of oil were spilled into a marsh. Castleton, North Dakota, in which huge explosions would have leveled the town if the accident would have occurred just a few miles the other way, and more recently, Lynchburg, Virginia, where the James River caught on fire. And yet, after all these accidents, virtually no changes have been made to protect our citizens and environment. To the contrary, more oil continues to be transported via rail. Let's also not forget that the tank cars hauling this oil also carry many other hazardous materials, such as benzene, gasoline, caustic soda, aqueous hydrofluoric acid, mixed acid, sulfuric acid, titanium tetrachloride, hydrochloric acid, phosphoric acid, aluminum sulfate, oleum, acetic acid, acetic anhydride, ethylene glycol, glycerin, hydrogen peroxide, ethyl ether, and the list goes on. We have great concern for the unsafe transport of hazardous materials in tank cars called DOT 111s. These tank cars have a history of causing loss of life and substantial harm to our citizens, environment, and businesses. CARS demands the transport of hazardous materials in these tank cars to be stopped immediately. Beyond the federal issues involving these tank cars, there are many other issues affecting the safety of our home. Studies conclude that more and more oil will be shipped not only out of the Bakken region, but also out of the Alberta tar sand region via rail. Even if more pipelines are built, more oil will continue to be transported by rail. And the rail industry knows this. Throughout our region, rail companies are expanding their rail lines so they can accommodate the increase in oil by rail. Here in La Crosse, Wisconsin, we currently see over 40 oil unit trains pass through per week. Each train is over 100 cars long. Add up the number of gallons per week, and that's over 48 million gallons of highly volatile crude oil passing by on faulty tank cars, through river towns, through wetlands, and adjacent to the river. It's about the same volume as an oil pipeline, except it's on wheels. This leads me to why we put this video together. Rail expansion is being proposed through the city of La Crosse and the adjacent wetlands.
A second rail line is coming to La Crosse.
The city has agreed to terms of a $4 million deal with Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, and in that agreement, BNSF will pay for training of local firefighters and for specialized equipment.
The city of La Crosse has already agreed to allow BNSF, Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, to build a second track through the city, but the agreement over the expansion through the La Crosse River Marsh is still under consideration. The La Crosse River Marsh is a wonderful example of a natural urban wetland. 139 species of birds have been identified, and many nest here during the breeding season, including species of great concern such as the black tern and the yellow-headed blackbird. It's also home to many different species of mammals, reptiles, and amphibians. Not only is the marsh important from a wildlife perspective, but it also serves as a much-needed floodplain, helping to reduce flooding within the city of La Crosse. The size of the marsh, however, has been whittled away through the years, and now BNSF's proposed second track will again whittle away another 7+ acres. Besides the loss of critical marsh habitat, a second track will increase rail traffic through the marsh and increase the risk of an oil spill. So what can you do to help? I'll be the first to admit that this is a tough uphill battle, but you know what? People do matter. Here's what you can do in the order of importance. Number 1, the best thing you can do to help is to attend the upcoming public hearing. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources will be holding a hearing on Wednesday, January 7th, 2015, from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Black River Beach Community Neighborhood Center in La Crosse, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin DNR is asking for public input regarding the BNSF proposed second track through the marsh. CARS would like your attendance at this hearing, and by all means, voice your opinion regarding the expansion. 2, if you can't attend the hearing, write to the Wisconsin DNR. 3, become a member of CARS. There are no fees, and all we ask of you is for your email address to keep you up to date with what we are doing. Of course, you can participate as little or as much as you like in our discussions as we move forward. 4, CARS is always in need of a few bucks to help with presentations, handouts, and our website. We'll take anything we can get. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you on January 7th.